subs. This, of course, is Gamer 1745 here this morning from California, broadcasting out to all of you. I hope you're having a very nice day. I hope this is going right. Yes, good. We are here. That's great. Okay, let's get this loaded in. Right. Very good. How many clicks does it take? Well. I think I have. Hello, Griffin. How you doing? I'm having a decent day. I'm waking up here, getting ready to really make episodes here. Hope you're having a good day. Let's move you west because that's the direction we're moving things. I'm just thinking about what I want to do with a mountain division. Well, we need transport. And I guess engineers. Oh, and reconnaissance. We need reconnaissance as well. Yeah. Right. Okay. Well, that would be good. Flush all of these. Let's go with how close are we to getting Stugs? Okay, over here. Oh, assault weapons. Assault guns, here we are. January 24th. So not that far away, but okay. Well, Let's go with an armored brigade. Motorized infantry. Yeah, it's going to be expensive. Hey Arno, good to have you here, my friend. Okay. Self-propelled versus medium versus that. You were going to go expensive with this unit. This unit is just going to be expensive. The good stuff. Nothing but the good stuff. I think that'll be it. We're gonna... Well... Armored support, motorized support. We don't have engineers. Crossing rivers will be difficult. We do have armored cars. We don't have... Okay. Yep. We're already at 29. Let's go to 33. Spend on ICs, ICs, ICs. All ICs are ICs. There we go. Should also be fast too, because we're doing self-propelled thingies. Well, Arno, you got your wish. We took out Poland on roughly the historical date. Did it last week, during the week on my own. But we're getting ready to give you a visit here shortly, so you may get to see that today. Definitely some ICs for sure. We can take a quick look here. We got Danzig up here, which is now German territory, so it's 3. Now over here, this being adjusted, we politics, we currently have them on full occupation, so it's minus 30% for ICs and 25% for resources. Hey, Toy Jet. No BBs, and you know, you're just teasing. So, yeah, mostly worried about resources than ICs at the moment. So we are going to rely upon this thing is this one province is really weird. We got cores over here, but it doesn't get cores for Germany when it should. It has cores for Poland and Czechoslovakia, but not Germany. And here we'll get occupation recalculated. Okay, we can deploy Udets or the group here. Okay, 40, yeah, that we'll be able to house all the way down at the bottom. And here I thought that was Eric. What has he done to disappoint you? That he's your right-hand man. Soulbound slave. Okay. All right. Yeah, I know. Oh, well, let's click through these. I want to see if one is better than another. These just are all the para HQ. Okay. Okay, well, what we're going to do here is we're going to come up here and rename this the first. Okay, who are we going to put in charge of this? This is not likely to actually be dropped. Can be dropped, but it's more likely to be air mobile. So I think if we come and get somebody like Piling Bruner here, who has a War Merit Cross with which gives minus 5% supply consumption to the unit and subunits, and a Logistical Wizard, which is also another 5%. So we'll give him a. There, he's a Luftwaffe. We'll set up for AA, but still. And then we're going to attach Sussman's unit to the first. Where is it? Where is it? Here it is. And so now we have this paratrooper division under Sussman, a good commando leader. We'll have the air landing division from the army attached to that, and we'll have the. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Not Flak Regiment Goring. Don't know if the troops there should be paratrooper. Ah, here. 7th Flieger Division, which is fairly weak at the moment, but. And. Hey! Skidoo? Hope I'm getting it right. Good to have you here. Okay, so now we have something of an airborne corps. Don't know that we're going to drop it. I don't know what we're going to do with it. I definitely want to use it down here eventually to do operation there, but I'm wondering about possibly either Norway. Probably don't need Denmark, but you never know. I don't know. Let's collect all of these and we can send them up to here. Yes, Arno. We're doing mostly submarines. We do have. Oh, you could be attached to somewhere, and as you're getting built out, let's find a blockade runner. There we are. Okay, and main command west blockade. We do have Scharnhorst, Gneisenau, Bismarck, Tirpitz, 2 heavy battleships there out of that. Deutschland, Admiral Scheer, Graf Spee. And then we got lots of CLs and DDs in the main fleet. I pulled in all of my submarines from the Atlantic, those that survived. I think they've shortened the range out because I could barely get out to here, which I think is a bit short range for 1939 German submarines. I think they get us to at least to the mid-Atlantic, and they started out really good, but then they got really munched. You'll see in the episodes coming up. Oh yeah, we got lots of coastal subs. They got a little munched up in here. Some of them did. We do have a huge bunch here that for a while battled the Poles. along with we can see, no, here we go. Schleswig-Holstein sunk a Polish torpedo boat. The Schlesien sunk another torpedo boat, and I think yeah, the torpedo boat here sunk a DD. No, I'm not going to try to. We eventually took out the Polish fleet, so yeah. We had some, but most of them got sunk. Regular subs. Got a few more here. What I'm going to do is I pulled all the subs out of the Atlantic, and I'm going to keep them not in the Atlantic until I get Brest and Lorraine or Lorient to be able to operate further out. It was just too much. The French and the British just really got them there. So no subs for now. Okay. How much force does it take to get into? Oh, we could use a leader. Let's get you now. We're in December, so we're not really clockwise ready to go after the West yet. Okay, well, you can go up to there. Right. Here's Guderian's Corps. Pretty good. That's under list here, under Schweppenberg's Corps. They could use another division. Okay, we'll give them Großdeutschland now that it's prepared. Presume that's, yes, okay, that's, there we go, that's Schweppenberg's Corps. Well, Rundstedt, but who's, okay, Hoppler. This division really sucks right now. Overly large, but really sucks. We'll find an infantry command under that. I don't need to. He's really slow with these militia units. Times I pulled the militia units out and he doesn't even have transport right now. Okay. The 2nd Panzer Corps. Von Fritzwitz und Grafen. Okay, we'll give you a pen. No, you're just too. That's a little too down. Maybe we'll find another general in here that I can decide to promote up to commanding the 2nd Panzer Corps. First under. Okay, yes. And so what? First Army. Okay. First Army. Any Panzer. Okay, Papa Hoth is very good unit. List. This could take another. Oh, Frankfurt. That'll be that one. Very good. Okay. Well, for the moment, we're going to move these over to. Oh, I want to get to the XV core. You're going to reassign under. Yep. There we go. Papa Haas core. How fast is he currently? Ooh, fairly quick. Okay. Yeah, we'll send you down over here. Did I scroll too far? I think I scrolled too far. No, it should be down here a ways. XV, which is the 15th, but it's easier for me when I'm scanning here to think of XV as opposed to thinking of XV, right? Yeah, okay, that has it. Probably just been scrolling past it, not seeing it. Oh, there it is, right there. Okay, yeah, you come on here. So, that doesn't really tell me anything. Okay, I think that's... Okay, another great Corps commander, von Kleist. He is actually the really sort of... you know, I think I might no leader you and give you to von Kleist. Yeah. Leftover Austrian units, which really haven't been updated. So this will update to Armor Battalion. Yeah, we'll do that. I don't know if it'll be ready in time, but we'll move you up to the top. Try to get you ready in time. But if not, they'll be operating without their armor contingent. Okay. Now, if we wanted to, we could see all of that. What? That's what I'm. Okay, you need to find a army commander. So Is that a good army commander? Well, there's no one there yet. Yeah, he's better than a no name, or needing to assign one, so that is what, the first. There we go. There we go. Getting this somewhat now organized. Okay, old Czech artillery, which I wanted to give to who here? Huh. Not the old guard guy. The fortress buster and the engineer guy. That's who I wanted to give them to. And I may even switch some of this other stuff around with another division here. No, not that unit. Okay, R. What we're going to do is I'm going to remove the anti-tank. We're going to give them heavy artillery. I think, okay, yeah, well, that's it for this. But let's look at these two divisions. Oh, this is going to be a problem, isn't it? Okay. I think proper. Okay. We can't temporarily do this, so this is what we need to do here is come here and again we'll give them temporarily our mixed support. And now we can give these guys the proper engineer battalion. And here and here. We can give them the mixed support. Okay, so this isn't bad. It's sort of standard just with mixed support instead of engineer. But now we have a river crossing, because he is a river crossing specialist there as engineer, and fort sieging division to get through some of these units here. Yeah, so that'll be good. All right. I think somebody's going to need to get a promotion. Making sure that at least all of those have 4 commanders. Right, well, I think we could use some more troops here in the west just to make this go fast. We don't need to spend a lot of time going after nonsense. We'll just push right over it. Yes, we should get that over here as well. All right. I know that was super exciting to watch me fiddle around with this, but hey, needed to be done. Okay, let's save this. There's some nonsense, so all that work doesn't go to waste if something goes wrong. Right, okay, well, now we'll make an episode and get carrying on here. Nope, wrong key. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 with my continuing look at Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.41, and we're getting ready to head west, though it's still just December 7th, not 39, not 41. So we're not going to be invading just yet, but we gotta wait for springtime. We can see here, because we do want to use these, I presume. Where is it? Maybe it's not even coming up yet. Maybe it's up here. Equipment now. There should be a eventually calculating to see a maybe after 1940. War games offer defense. We're not doing that. Attack on the Low Countries kind of thing. So that is part of the reason for the delay, waiting for the decision to happen. Hey, Rhaegar. Yep, same game. It is compatible. The 10.4.2 is not, so I've not tried to use it. They're bombing us. Our fighters are reacting. Air battles. Bulgaria wants some energy, sure thing. Okay, we're going to deploy these motor torpedo boats. Yeah, probably out with those. Just makes it simple for the moment. Okay, when are we getting the upgraded unit? March. Ooh, I don't know that we'll be... Well, I don't know if we're going to be going in that soon or not. Well, you can see all the activity going on, at least the activity that we are currently experiencing, and mentioning that we have radar level here. We try to build this up higher. We have radar back here. Can look. Now that's just good for local, but that should be helping our fighters. Doing much better. Winter war with France? No. We're gonna wait till we can get the decision to invade the Low Countries here. Blitzkrieg. What else? What? Yeah, it's just gonna really boost our efficiency here for attack. Wait till we can do the fall gelb decision. Yeah, they're bombing us. Got bombed there a little bit. The French are coming in here. Strategic bombing. I'm hoping my fighters will intercept them and wreck there. Wow, they look like they've had a path through here without being intercepted. Oh, there we are. They did get a little bit intercepted. Von Grimm's group here is battling them. Don't want you over France. We'll give you time to get repaired. Yeah, these guys did get wrecked a bit. Yes, you may have energy. We are running out of steel fast. Okay, could I buy steel from Soviets? I don't think so, but let's... Nope, they won't sell me steel. Okay, who's making this steel? USA... Not too many people locally. Now, they're hitting us hard actually in the steel, it appears. Well, let's look at the air war. Okay, well, we've done some strategic bombing up here for coal. I know I've had a bunch of steel factories improved. This is starting to concern me. 90 a day. We have 2 more coming online in a while, but that's still a while. That's just 2. Now, technology, industry. Well, we're getting close to 40, so we'll start doing the 41 research there immediately. Yeah, I think we need to see about finding where we can most efficiently increase some more steel. Let's look down here again. Okay, 3 is base, but why are we... Automotive industry, very 4-year plan. See, I totally disagree with a lot of what they're doing here. Why is Göring's 4-year plan, which, what was one of the main elements of the 4-year plan? Oh, I remember, increasing resources. Is actually taking resources away? Steel? I don't know. I mean, if somebody said, showed me an article of, well, the 4-year plan used huge amounts of steel or something to do X, Y, or Z, then okay, but I don't get why it's such a negative. Now, maybe it shouldn't be a boost. Maybe. I'm not saying I think so, but... Oh, man. I don't know what these people are thinking of. Don't they ever want to play my mod? So we've maxed out the steel there. We've not maxed it here or here. Okay, let's... Now, I'm not saying everything right is right in my mod, but... It'll take a while to show up. But give me good evidence to refute what I'm done in my mod and all, yeah, okay, I'll change things. That is just 3, price too low. The check. Yeah, we could do maybe even 2 there. I'm just getting overly worried about steel, I know. Okay. All right, well. All these to the top. We need more steel today. I can take France with the forces I've got now. I don't need more forces. I need more steel. No, not Donuts. We'll go down to one of the historical ones and assign you to there. What level of fighters do I have? Okay, I'll look in a moment. We have here the motor torpedo boats and the 2 destroyers, right? Well, I think we're going to assign these to the ones here in Rostock, because they're going to maybe act as escorts, maybe the other stuff. Okay, fighter types. That's a bit interesting here. We can see. Okay, so we have now. Are they upgraded to fully? We'd have to check on each individual one. So we have, we're researching 1940s model fighters. So they would be the 1939 model fighters with various, improvements here from different things, including air systems here. I don't know of a good base. I know we can click on here, but this is just some vague idea. It's just sort of a combination of all of those. When a certain threshold reaches a few of them, they up the model type. So it's more looking at model 39 this, model 39 that for these different things. And that's sort of what we have here. And so, yeah, they'll get better once we do get the 1940 tech models done up. Okay, so we have let's see if we buy. Why aren't they allowing America to sell to me? I don't know. Or the Soviets. Or steel. yes, you may have energy. Oh, good. Where is Liebstender? There we are. That's where you're supposed to go. Am I missing something here? Did I? Oh, wrong. There we go. Yeah, that's where I wanted to have him. So call me. I wonder if we were to change this out. Where is Fritz Tote? Crude oil, money, supplies, resources. We're going to go to him. We're changing over to Tote right now. Going to end the 4-year plan, which I'm not absolutely sure is good or bad. Well, we're getting prepared to go west. Yeah, okay, so yeah, I don't like their 4-year plan. I like mine much better, being more historical. I look at it as historical. Notice getting rid of that. Yeah, I dislike their 4-year plan vehemently now, because I've never actually played their 4-year plan until this playthrough, because I just remove it for TRE because I already have built a 4-year plan. I think mine is much more historical. It's not liking or disliking it in a gameplay sense. It's liking its historical element. Okay, radar for capital ships advanced. Very nice. Okay, so now we at least have radar on all of our ships, however much that will help or improve or hurt our capabilities. Now, I'm not sure what is the highest priority right now to be researching. Those are fairly priority. Small arms, bridging equipment, getting across some of those rivers. Arctic warfare equipment. Supply, these are fairly high priority, or combat medicine. We're going to do, because once we get in, it trickle back will be helpful. Keep our manpower up. Hey, Eric. I don't know, just seeing Eric and everybody here. I saw from Tech's video earlier today when I was waking up, Italy is going to get the Toldi 2A in the next battle pass as a tank. Well, the way they implement the 4-year plan doesn't seem historical to me. First off, the money situation. Again, I've stated over and over and over, money should only be used for international exchanges the way this game is designed. Göring's 4-year plan was specifically set up to have more autarky, meaning internal development for Germany, not import-export. So to the best of my knowledge, there was no large-scale importing of some sort of industrial capabilities to increase, say, mining within Germany. It was all internally happening. I don't know why it would be taking up more steel when specifically it was designed. The 4-year plan was to increase resources. Now, I don't know. I've not specifically read how much steel was targeted. Now, they were increasing the number of factories, so that can sort of go, yeah, okay, you're using some more steel to build more factories, absolutely, but I need to see a little bit more. Where really I see it as increasing resource extraction, and looking at at sort of where it can, helping industry improve, and particularly looking at things like synthetics, fuels particularly, but synthetics overall, including synthetic rubbers. Getting that more operating at an industrial scale. Not so much, I mean, they're already doing it and they're continuing to do, technical research for synthetics for sure, but much more along the lines of we've got it to a technical level that it works. Now let's put it on as an industrial scale, because my understanding, they're already looking at, say, synthetic gasoline, if you will, synthetic or hydrated coal, adding liquid to coal. In the 1920s, in the 1930s, they, I think, are already, something I read, actually selling little bits of it commercially, meaning specific gas stations somewhere in Germany were specifically selling gasoline made from coal. But this is just sort of like a few, gasoline stations, not spread all over, not widely used. It's more of a, like a microbrewery, a micro production, if you will, but production of synthetic fuels. It isn't really looking more into like I don't know, I'm just going to throw out a year here, but 38, sort of in the latter half of the 1930s, that they're starting to get into really industrial scales of liquefaction of coal. And they use two different processes. One is a high pressure process, I forget it, but each process works better with a particular type of coal. Both types of coal fields are found in Germany, so they sort of tailor it, and so that's why they're on a dual track approach on it, and not just single track. And so they're setting up two types of factories. Each works better with a particular type of coal, and so they're doing liquefied coal into oil to convert it into gas. Now it's really kicking into high gear, somewhere more in the 1940s, early 1940s, 40s, 41, 42. But so a lot of this is happening, and with the Luna Works becomes the major one under IG Farben. But that's all being coordinated through the 4-year plan. Now the 4-year plan is a big mix of things, and I've never really gotten a good handle on it, quite honestly, even though all of what I'm spouting, it's more, I get bits and pieces of it. Talk about this in the 4-year plan, talk about that, talk about this other thing. And I don't know whether it's just something that's already happening that the Goering and crew are taking credit for, or whether it's just something specifically organized by the 4-year plan. I just don't always know with what's I'm getting. So yeah, that's sort of my evaluation of it. Very much resource driven. It's very much with the idea of the plan that there's going to be a coming of a war, and you need to make Germany as self-sufficient as possible. we're currently researching assault guns. Or no? Okay. Well, right now we have 650 ICs. We don't have enough raw materials to feed these ICs. So we can either burn them up and then reduce the ICs based on this, or we can come over here. I think we're going to go back to a full mobilization. That'll reduce our ICs by 15%. Though for some reason now, of course, we'll need more consumer goods, but hey, so we'll do that. Yeah, it's the best mod for Hearts of Iron 3, I think, entirely. Hey Martin, how you doing? I'm doing quite well. Okay, you sit at your desk and with your hands in your head, and your national stockpiles are dwindling fast, unemployment is soaring. Reichmark is, you have missed calls from the Rice Chancellor, you're saying? Okay, I'm not exactly sure what's all that's going on. But we'll wait till one more day passes. And yes, we're down to that. So 59.22. Okay, I think we also need to come back here and go back to here. To mixed industry. Okay, well, doing this has gotten us... Well, we've also gotten to 110% in officers, so our crash officer program has worked quite efficiently. Let's reduce this down, which will get us a lot more research. We're actually going to let this go for a day. Now for production, we don't need those consumer goods. Hello, Phytran. Goes to gain experience you don't gain in combat. Okay, well that's a good question. The way they gain experience, corps level, army level, army group level, theater level, they'll get experience based upon units under their command. So here for the Polish War, he was commanding all the ground units in the Polish War. Von Brauchitsch, he gained experience 4.7%. So he gains experience based upon a percent, and the higher the command rate is. Oh, you know, it would be worth doing. Okay, I'm going to save this just in case we're going to crash it, because I'm going to alt tab out of this. Let me just get this up on the screen, or you know, let me find this first. Downloads. Where do I have it? There's a nice little chart. I should put it maybe there. I used to try to play with it open, but it hadn't been important enough recently. Oh. I need to do something. Keep this Actually, I'm just going to Google it, I think. Right. Yeah, here it is. Actually, it might be good here. Let me just switch over to desk for this here. Okay, we can see here. You get for skill level improvement. At the theater level, you get 6.25%. At least this is standard. They may have tweaked this in Black Ice. I know they definitely tweaked the command radius, so don't pay attention to that. 12.5, 25, 50, and 100% of the skill. Now, I'm going to put this here. We can see here the different capabilities. Reduce stacking penalty. So this is the skill level. So the more stars you have, you reduce the stacking penalty by 1%. If you're theater. If you're army group, you decrease supply consumption by 5% per skill level. So those two having your skill level up there is pretty good. Army increases the organization by 1% for skill level for units under it. This is an improved chance of a reserve division entering combat per skill level. So to me, skill level at corps level is least important, and increased combat efficiency by 5% per skill level. So that is where, let me come back over here and go back to the game. Yes, you're seeing black. It'll come back here hopefully in just a moment. So yeah, that is so you will get skill level, but unlike it sort of says here, you don't gain traits, because you notice he has now, I mean, it's mostly just 2% or less improved traits for his combat. But you'll notice von Brauchitsch has no improvements to traits, because you only get trait improvement if you're actually in contact with the enemy. So his traits are stuck, basically, so long as he continues to that. So that's how that works. I hope that answers your question. Makes the joy and stress at the moment. It's well good. Hope things get better for you. Yes, thank you, Arno, for thumbs up for the stream. Okay, we need to, let's see, we're going to detach you, and we're going to attach you to here's group B, I think. You can see that one of his divisions is over there, or corps. So the OKW here is commanding in the west. Von Lieb is commanding the forces that are facing the Maginot Line. Army Group B is not commanding very much. Okay, what we need to see about doing is reorganizing some of this. Does one of these have a good... Okay, that's Army Group C, Army Group A. No, let's get you out of C. We're going to move you into A, I think. Von Reich now. We'll move to Army Group B here for the north. And 4th Army, yeah. Who is commanding the 4th Army? Do I particularly like von Klug? Yeah, let's move you west. We're going to detach you, and we're going to attach you to Army Group B here in the north. Von Box Group. So we're going to have him there. Right now, so units that are attached straight to the command, which is not good, it's not ideal. We're going to attach you to Army Group B. No, not Army Group B. We're going to attach you, we want to attach you to the 6th Army here in Cologne. Okay, your army is coming west. You need a good commander because you're going to be used aggressively. So, we'll be getting more good commanders coming soon, just as the clock sort of goes. On Falcon Horse, he goes up and occupies Norway, or invades Norway and occupies it. Yeah, we'll give you that command, and we're going to attach you to the 6th Army. We get you, you're in the 8th Army, your 5th Army. 6th Army, okay. Darian already has one placed. First Army, under here, okay. Very good. What do you think of the new American tank coming soon? I think it's a good addition to the American tree. Yeah, for a minute I thought you meant actually modern new American. Yeah, no, I think it's cool. It's not quite the paper tank that Lum said it, because I did actually go in and read about it. They made 1 or 2 of them, I don't remember, but just a few as prototypes. I sort of see 44 and 45 dates for either development. So it's a World War II tank. We don't know what BR it is yet, so and we don't know all of the detailed stats, I don't think. But it's going to be big and slow. It's the kind of thing that I want to see for America to stand up against things like the Yag Tiger and the King Tigers and whatnot, as opposed to having them face off of clearly post-war tanks and yeah, maybe even bigger than a KV-2. So yeah, it's a real vehicle, and America just decided they didn't need it. Yeah, in any ways, it probably would have never been in production. It was more, I think it's just more of a, would this work kind of vehicle, because it's built on a modified M6 hull that America does. They build some M6s. The Army really doesn't want them, or the Armored Corps the Armored Corps, or whatever you want to call it, doesn't want them. And so they never get shipped overseas because no one in actual command wants to use them. So yeah, no, it's or is it the T-28? Right? I forget what it is. It's the new thing in War Thunder he's talking about. But looking at the time, we're going to end the episode, not the live stream, folks. Those you hear live will be continuing, but we're going to be ending the episode here. I want to thank you so much for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. And we'll be back next time for more Hearts of Iron. Okay, guys, M6E. Yeah, that's right, Eric. I'm going to grab a Coke and be right back. We're going to be continuing this. So yeah, no, I think it's a cool idea. Put it in there. Keep it World War II technology. You know how much I love playing that stuff more so than playing post-war. Post-war is cool, but you know, all tanks are cool. And some are more cool than others. All right, almost back. Yeah, and yeah, Arno, as Eric's saying that he saw some photos from the proving ground in Aberdeen, and so yeah, it's a real vehicle. It's a big turreted. It's a M6 with a huge turret, tall turret on it. It'll come down, and they added additional front armor on it, so it should have more armor. So it should be slower than the M6. If the turret armor is good enough, it'll be pretty hard to take. Though, of course, it depends on what they, um, put the BR at. Well, you can Google it if you want. There's a whole dev blog post that maybe, I don't know if Eric wants to put a link in the Discord forum or even up on Twitch. Okay, so yeah. Do we save this? I think so, but I'm going to save this again before we continue. All right. Another episode. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing look at Hearts of Iron 3's Black Ice 10.4. And of course, we're playing as Germany here. This is more of a test run through so that I can get a good idea of what is going on with current Black Ice. Papa Hoth. Okay, you go to Papa Hoth's group, which is here. Okay, so your corps or your divisions are there. Brigades. Right. Okay. let's let this continue. We'll get to the new year. Industries ask for more money. Okay. Fell's Nest. Yes, we'll build this, I guess. Eric. Ooh, where is this? Will this help me see it? Oh, okay, so here's going to get 2 radar stations. That'll be useful. And VOMAG, good old VOMAG. Okay, in Powlin Tank Factory. Okay, we'll do it. Go with that. Now, first of the year stuff. Okay. Now, annual espionage focus. This is what we need to do, ruling party support and political intel, to try to get more ruling party support. We are currently, how are we doing with that? 22, which is not so great. Now, at this point, with what we have currently, manpower, this is going to be enough. Well, we're having more of a problem. Fewer ICs is better for us now. So we're going to go with economic boost long term, because we're having resource problems. I know I got told, no, you're going to have to be fine with that. You don't keep going. Yeah, well, whoever it was, I'm not blaming them, but it just, they did not build ICs like I did. Netherlands, why is the Netherlands buying copper from the United States? Okay, well, what we can also do here is, now that it's 1940, we're going to come here and do steel, just because that's harder, it takes longer to do. Improve liquefaction, oil refinery, just to get the right order for these things. To focus heavily on industry. Now we have 2 more slots available. Installation of security basing. We'll do that to cover them. I'm gonna let the day close out here. Okay, armored fighting vehicles, tracks and suspension, very nice. Okay, so we've maxed that out, it looks like. Armored cars, I think, but let's look. Yeah, we'll do armored cars. We got a fair number of those around. Yeah, rank 4. That's true. Eric, just what the BR is going to be is subject to change, even if they sort of know what they're planning on releasing it. I did not see a specific thing that said what BR that is going to be. Need to get a new cable or something for that. Okay. Convert them to get more. Yeah, we'll do this. And we'll throw the Brandenburg Commando unit. So we should have commando unit there. Okay, good. We'll send them west. We'll just send them out here for the moment. Von Hippel, not my Von Hippel, but Von Hippel. And we have these transport squadrons. Wish they wouldn't come in without anything there, because that just means if they get bombed or touched at all, they just sink. Okay. So now we have some better naval transports. And yes, we will form the 9th Panzer Division. Actually, sort of glad they're taking up all of those ICs, because that means they don't cost us resources and still benefit us. We need more steel. Well, now it says we have plenty, but we've really pushed down our resource usage, but we'll see how this goes. And we're not, yeah, we've got a lot of stuff we want to put into back into production. Prescoia should be the most northern part of the Netherlands, like in real life. Well, that sounds stupid, but okay. Is there a general name for this part of the Netherlands, Arno? Where I'm sort of circling here. If you can see this area. Okay, but is there a name for this part of the Netherlands? So I think this is technically Holland down in here, but up here, this sort of northeastern part, Friesland. Okay. The Netherlands should not even attempt to defend Friesland. They should come back, and we can come to the ugly terrain map mode, which shows us better. These sort of swampy areas, I guess, that sort of, whether they're real swamps or just lands that can be flooded. This river line here sort of use some of the Rhine rivers and the Meuse, whatnot here. And along this riverbank here, maybe create some levels of fortification here. I don't know how historical this is up here with having fortification levels, or is this maybe not supposed to be fortification, but just simply difficult terrain that is, you know, functions as a fortification. I don't know. Either way is appropriate. But sort of try to defend up here and defend down along here. Definitely give up this province here. And be ready to this forested area down here. Be ready to give it up if there's a hard push and hold along the Meuse here. And that's sort of, you know, where you do to try to hold out as long as Okay, yeah. So Friesland for the Netherlands is undefendable, and if we look here, okay, it's saying there's some sort of industry here. It's probably, I'm not saying it's unpopulated, but it's not as densely populated as your urban areas down here, and there's a lot less industry and resources here. So for long-term survival, it just isn't that useful. It's something you should give up if you're trying to defend it. So yeah, that's my evaluation of defending this, at least in a Hearts of Iron format scale. Oh, come on. Are we getting any? Oh, good. Now we got some fighters up there. No, it didn't last long. Okay, now we're in positive territory, but we've radically brought our industry down to, instead of 650, it's down at 460, so 200 ICs off. Hey, Poop Hunter. Well, a little bit. Normally start... Well, I started an hour late, so yeah, you're about 2 hours late from normal starting. So it's normally 2 hours before this time is when I try to start, but just I wanted to sleep a little more than I wanted to start on time. Sorry, guys, but yeah, okay. Single engine fighter prototypes are now at 1940 levels here, which now allows me to start researching here to do some more, getting some good stuff going. Okay, well, I guess I don't know what this is going to be here. Okay, well, don't know if that was worth it. Don't know what it took away, but Cam Huber, the guy who does the Cam Huber line, yes, I know of him. Okay, fighter core, once you get some strength up, will be useful. We're going to move you further west. Rebase to here. Okay, now let's look at fighter core. This is why I do this. Okay, no orders. Okay, you should have some. Your order should be to come up here and aggressively intercept day or night. No orders. Von Grimm, he took a... We're going to let him stay with no orders for a little while longer. That's why I do this fighter command. That's the one we just... Oh no, that's another one. Okay, yeah, let's... Up here, air intercept, but it's at night only. So you should just... No, we don't want to operate that big. We don't want to go back over France. Don't intercept over France. Then, yeah, that's good enough. So you intercept over Germany only at night. Is he at night? Yeah, okay, we'll leave him. No, he's a fake commander. And this unit here. This is the main bombing area. Went both day and night over Germany. Aggressively go for it. Are you going to be doing Weserboom? Yes, we're going to come up and visit you in Norway. Why? Well, we want the Swedish steel trade and other things. Okay, well, normally I've been doing Reich economics for 15% IC's improvement. Now that we're at war, Das Heer, more manpower, Achtung Panzer, not as much manpower, but we'll get tank factories or armaments factories. Plan Z, Luftwaffe, Reich resources. Do we do Reich resources? 20% metal, 10%. We're increasing our metal production. We're doing things like that. But I think we're going to do this because I normally don't do this at all. But I think this time I'm going to. Obviously, I don't need the energy. I mean, that's just sort of like, yeah, okay, you threw that in there. Right now, if we build up, we are pitifully low at 15,000 steel. We have 62, again, only because of all the penalties and things. It's not going to be terribly great, and I'd like to go back to more production. So the metal and the rare materials obviously is not hurting it as bad as 71,000. So a boost on those two would definitely help. So we're going to do that. We're going to boost rice resources. Oh, we've got an airborne brigade here ready to come north. We have, or not airborne brigade, an airborne corps. We've got a Jaeger corps here ready to come north. Now, not ready to come north, but maybe we should send it up. There is a mountain division corps, Jaeger, a proper Gebirgsjäger corps, come up north, and we have various transport ships, and we're building. Where are they? Some landing craft to be ready in March. So, yeah, getting ready to come up north and visit you. Hello, Eugene Tonic. How you doing? Full campaigning in, or just trying it out? Well, this isn't the full playthrough as I'm planning on doing. This is going through figuring out what I need to do to adjust TRE for the new version of it. Hey, cool. So yeah, it's somewhere in between. Not quite just trying it out, but nor is it. I'm not planning on going. Well, I'm planning on playing this until there's good enough reason not to. Whether I'm getting ready to test TRE or whether they've made enough changes that I think I want to start over again. So, Romania would like energy, short, certainly. We can have energy, Romania. Okay, now we're at 200 plus for steel per day. We like that, but we're all the way down at 3. $180. Okay, well, if we've gone down to this, let's come back over to politics here. That'd be a 15% boost. That would be a 10% boost, though it's hitting the money hard. I think we're going to go with a war cancel. Wartime. Yeah, let's go to a war economy. Let's go back to that. No, we need to do this, but it's only costing us 2 ICs. The day clicks over. Okay, so now we're back up at 460. Okay, instead of 200 or whatever, I mean, it was fluctuating around a bit, but at about 200. Okay, it's up at 139 positive 50. So we're still in a positive territory here. And we can readjust that there. So we're in a positive territory. I've still got a lot of stuff that was in the pipeline. I think we're going to keep this here for now. Let's see what this air battle looks like. Come on, come on. There we go. Okay, so, wow, lots of French fighters versus some of ours, though they're night fighters, but maybe it was night when the battle started. They shouldn't be coming up. Oh, when I do that, I don't get to see the thing. There we go. Oh, just a few of ours against theirs. A few more came in. Wish we could really follow the battles a little easier. Hello, Penjori. How you doing? I don't know. I think something like that for infantry divisions. I'm not the best, I don't know, optimizer or min-maxer kind of thing, player, but it's just sort of standard for that. Those make really good divisions. Yeah, something like this for armor, though my armor units vary considerably. This is a historical one, but maybe a little too much light armor there. This is a very light sort of division. So this is actually a rather good division here, the 22nd, in that it has a full armored brigade, a full motorized infantry regiment, and then supporting units. So hopefully that gives you an idea. Oh, Luxembourg is mobilizing. Electronic computing advanced. Very good. Something really the Germans didn't do, to the best of my knowledge. Mechanical computing to some degree, sure. You have Zeus, the Zeus machines, but those weren't really in practical use. I think we want to continue to push fighter technology up. I tried something like that, couldn't fight against Britain. They just kept melting on normal difficulty. I mean, conquering Britain. Well, I think Britain may have some special bonuses at home. I don't think I've ever invaded Britain in 1940, so I don't really have experience with that. I thought we were on moving ahead. Okay, angry mob of armed citizens severely damages one of our airports. Oh God, I hate this. I fucking hate this. Ugh. Where what the fuck, developers? Why is this even happening? I mean, yeah, I know right now we have 22% government support, which I talked about that this is wacky, and I think this is other nations influencing stuff, yes. So popularity is down. But nothing like this happened to Germany during World War II that I know of. Definitely nothing like this happened to World War II Germany, inside of Germany, even in the days that it's collapsing at the end of the regime. It may have happened, you may be technically somewhere, in France before the Luftwaffe withdrew from some air bases, that they were still sort of operating there. Maybe there was the equivalent of a partisan attack or some unrest attack. And yeah, but we have dissent at 0. See, it's dissent, it's at 0, and national unity at 98%. And so I could see that, I don't know, somehow strategic bombing, because it is, I think, affecting us up here maybe a bit. No, not at the moment. But if for some reason things were going so bad that either my dissent levels were too high or national unity was so fractured that it was, really low, that then I could get behind the, hey, gamer, it's not history because you've effed it up so bad and the people are just too upset with you that this kind of thing happens. Okay, yeah, I can get there, because I can get to the idea that if things go really wrong, they don't have to be historical. But with no dissent and national unity so high, anything like over 70% national unity, I don't see this happening in Germany. Don't know where time is. I'm guessing Western Germany, but I don't know. Doesn't sound Polish or whatever, but I don't even know if these things happening in Poland really. So yeah, this just sucks. And here we go, mind viewer. We don't have enough problems to deal with fairly savable part. They decided to show their dislike for policies by refusing to serve government roles, including those in the military nature. I don't know how much draft dodging there was going on at this time in Germany. I just don't know of it. I'll get to some of the comments after I'm done ranting here. There's a really good book called Hitler's Compromises. I listened to it on audiobook, so I haven't technically read it, but I bought it from Amazon's audio, whatever the service is. So yeah, so the biggest problem with doing audiobooks is good thing I had a job which I could listen to audiobooks at for a number of years, so that was really good. But it's not easy to go look things up in an audiobook, try to listen to whatever sections where you can if it's in a regular book. So I can't really cite sources or look stuff up, but the author really went in and looked at different stages of the war and tried to look at original source material, meaning period documents, and tried to look at how Germany, not Poland, not France, not Soviet occupied areas, but Germany was being run. Things like them arresting, Catholic bishops and then having to let them out, and other sort of things in the basically national revolt of the Catholics down in Bavaria area over some of the stuff into which that there were protests. And the way they would protest is like every night they would come out, once some of these events happened, that probably tens of thousands of people just came out and stood in mass crowds, basically silent, just standing for hours and hours and hours through the night. Maybe not all through the night, but for hours and hours each night. And the Nazis were getting worried because they were being peaceful, but they were just standing, and they were getting more and more and more. So eventually the Führer Oh, I've heard about what the local Gauleiter did, and he just overstepped his bounds. Oh, no, no, we're freeing the bishop or whatever it was. Doesn't matter the details of it. It's just more the lessons or looking at it. And so with all this huge public protest, oh, okay. Now, really, the story is the Gauleiters were supposed to, in different places around Germany, poke and prod and see what they could get away with in their Gau, and then if it worked there, then they would do it in other Gaus and spread it. Gau is sort of another term for province or whatever. So, that was part of the governing styles. They would push, and when they found they were pushing too hard, it was always sort of the Fuhrer would finally hear about this, misdeeds of some, high up but mid-level kind of, like a Gauleiter going too hard on it. Not that really Hitler's upset with the Gauleiter, Hitler's upset with the people, but trying to come in and look like he's the guy solving the problem. So it was a sort of practice that they had. And then late in the war, and this is at least 1944, if not sort of 45, but at least 1944, there was probably about 100 Jewish men married to Aryan women in the Berlin area. Maybe it's 200 or 300. And right around like late 1944, they all get arrested because they're all known who they are. They all get arrested. And then these women started standing out in front of some public buildings, holding signs. And in about 2 weeks, all of their husbands are released back home. So if there were Aryan women coming to protest that their Jewish husbands were arrested, and this is, the Holocaust is going on, full steam ahead at this point in the midst of shortages. But when the right types of Germans protested, normally the Nazis give in. So it's now, and this author goes in and talks about how hard and how he believes that there's much more of this going on, but he either just didn't have time in writing the book or looking at different archives, or that they're destroyed. And he also looks at the Gestapo was going around in plain clothes, not in their black trench coats, and definitely not in their black uniforms. Or should I say Gestapo agents, if not actually Gestapo members, going around and standing in rationing lines throughout the war. And just listening and taking notes. Not doing anything, not taking anybody's name, not intimidating anybody, but just listening to what the people were saying in the ration lines. What they were talking about, what they were complaining about. And they would write huge numbers of, reports about these things. Now, huge numbers of these reports get burned. Whether it's, firebombing the city or just bonfires that, hey, the Allies are coming, the SS is burning all of their documents for a very good reason. So they've got, collections of these documents, but it's not comprehensive in that probably 90% of them are gone, but the 10% that remained, are maybe thorough for a particular, 6 months in this area, in a particular region in Germany or something, so they're collecting all these notes. So they're really surveilling the average German citizen, not the socialist, not the Jew, not the whatever, but just the average German citizen that they're trying to govern. And what people are thinking about, and how do they have to respond to this? And so this is Hitler's compromises, and really good. And there's just so little actual information that this guy could get on this stuff. And there's probably a lot more incidences of different types of protests going on before the war, during the war. And there's a whole thing about all these huge numbers of forced evacuations from the cities. And then the people just said, fuck it, I ain't wearing a mask. Oh, sorry, that's modern day. No, they said, fuck it, I ain't staying in these deportation areas. I'm going back home illegally. And eventually, first they started to try to sort of arrest the person because have their past. You're supposed to be out, in some countryside somewhere with your kids, some woman or whatever with their kids, supposed to be out there and evacuated. And they started, but then they and just got overwhelmed. So then even though they tried to, evacuate as much people as they could, if they wouldn't show up at the evacuation point, if they got the order to evacuate, they didn't show up, or if they just came home after 2 months instead of their staying out there into these cities that were being bombed, they just gave up. It was never, to the best of my knowledge, a Stalinist type regime of mass arrests, unless you're the wrong type of person, the communist agitator who is known, or the Jew, or the mentally deficient, and you're putting in little death fans. This isn't saying Nazi Germany good. This is Nazi Germany going with the sort of velvet glove approach, not with an iron fist, just a velvet glove approach to what it thinks are the right, I'm putting air quotes in, hey, Mr. Cocoman, right type of people situation. And of course, they were evilly brutal to, various occupied peoples, Poles, Ukrainians, Russians, Dutch, whoever, Nazi be evil. We're not, I'm not trying to, and this book definitely wasn't trying to minimize Nazis' evil. It was just looking at ruling in Germany. Okay, so just to give you a little background of some of the stuff. So the Nazis wouldn't have put up with widespread 2% that's on here. I'm draft dodging, I'm sure of that. I just don't know, but don't know specific about drafting. Again, I don't 1,000 down, but I don't see them doing this. I just hate these things. And these may be triggered by this just being 22%, but my national unity is high and my dissent is low. Okay, what do you think? Go for the Soviets in 41 and secure the Mediterranean. I'm thinking possibly I'm doing the Mediterranean first if I get that far. It's AI and it's English, by the way. Why is a black person in that image? And it's about Germany. Well, because it's a generic image. I don't know where that looked like it was America. I don't even know if it was World War II by the uniforms. Black people were not drafted in World War II. I'm pretty sure they weren't. So I don't know what that picture of them being, and that's just a generic, because those events, for TRE, for like the universities and the police event, for for if you get advanced education investment here, that's sort of the university. I made an image that is from Heidelberg University during the period, and I think it's the Palace of Justice or something here, or whatever. I made a German version for police and so if you have TRE installed and you play Britain, you'll see the German stuff. It's just a generic use for all countries. So don't look, because it isn't localized to the country. I did a couple of things just because I felt like it for TRE, because I was constantly seeing them, but it's not a it would just be weird for any other country. But I tailored it for Germany. If you're playing TRE, I presume you're playing with that. So it's that kind of thing. But there were black units in support tanks and even in air. Oh, absolutely, Arno. And there's actually I watched it. A 20-minute movie that was basically everyone in it is black, but it was trying to get blacks in America why they should volunteer and fight, even though they were second-class citizens within America at the time. You know, it was a propaganda movie. And whatnot. So blacks were definitely, volunteers. Just I try to collect things. Let me get a drink here. And I think it was yesterday. Got a picture of, I forget who it was, but I saved the information with it. In 1940, early 19. Well, I think it was 1941, maybe late 1941. A picture of a 30-year veteran in the United States Army, a master sergeant who was black, but he had the hashtags up his arm, so he's like about 50 years old or something, being sent out there. So he was one of the more senior sergeants within the U.S. Army, and he was black, very much so, but it was part of a black unit. The President Wilson, Democrat President Wilson, which... there's a high school in this part of the world still to this day that is now mostly not white, but maybe not mostly black. But President Wilson, of course, is the U.S. president, a Democrat, is responsible for resegregating the armed forces, which at the time were basically the Army and the Navy. The Marines were barely a thing, and definitely Air Force wasn't a thing yet, because it was the Army Air Corps eventually, because they had been basically desegregated before Democrat President Wilson. And FDR does very little to, there's no desegregation under FDR in the Army or Navy or Air Force or whatever. His wife definitely pushes for rights for Black Americans and working and improving their condition. I'm blanking on her name right now. But she definitely pushes for civil rights for sure. But even there, it's still mostly just a propaganda campaign and not really done to upset the Democrat Southern Americans, who were very racist and who were the ones that were promoting the Jim Crow laws. Just, I know the Democrats claim to have changed and all, but you got to remember, first very progressive President Wilson was a massive racist and not necessarily a member of, but supporter of the Ku Klux Klan. FDR was very much not rock the boat. And even, Eleanor Roosevelt, that's his wife's name, I remember. I know it, I blank on names. Eleanor Roosevelt, who was definitely trying to get more civil rights for the black in America, really wasn't rocking the boat too much, and it was not the Republicans. The Republicans were very much against Jim Crow laws. The Republicans, when the protests were going on in the American South and the civil rights movement, the Republicans were on the civil rights side. It's a myth that the Republicans are against civil rights. The Republicans, what they are against, two things, and have been since I've been an adult, which has been quite a while, and paying attention. One is special quotas, like saying, oh, well, if you have 30% of the people in your town are black, 30% of the firefighters need to be black. Well, why? Maybe there should be 60% because maybe more of them volunteer and they're the better choice. I don't know. Don't care. They want to have quotas for things like, fire department and whatever. The Republicans are against quotas. And yes, the Republicans, and this is back when I was sort of paying attention in the 1970s and definitely paying attention in the 1980s. Yes, we know that there's already a hierarchy of white management, say in the fire department, and it's going to take years for the blacks who may be in certain departments in certain areas of America, not everywhere, but in certain areas, for them to work their way up the ladder instead of promoting them up fast. They were sort of like, yeah, well, they'll get there eventually. They just, on their own merit because they're good people. They'll get there eventually. The Democrats wanted to force quotas and do it now, do it now. The Republicans were against that. They thought it would happen organically over the time, but for civil rights, but not for quotas. And two, much more wanting to strengthen the family unit, and so not to give overly welfare bonuses to, say, single mothers. Well, single mothers need welfare bonuses because they can't support their children and work. Okay. But the unintended consequences is, and they see this today in the black community, is because with poor people, if they were married, husband and wife, they wouldn't get welfare bonuses or as much of welfare bonuses. So the husband or the father might be working, might not be working, but wouldn't marry the mother of the children so that she could get single mother bonuses, and the and the father would pretend, maybe still living in the home, but pretend not to be there. And so we see this tearing apart the family. And so the Republicans were against some of these programs that were targeting minorities to help them, but may have not been the best choice, and ideologically wanting to do a either no or just minimum, more likely minimum, welfare state. And it was always the Democrats who really like poor people and who really want people to be poor, so they were, look to the Democrats for, support. But, Democrats wants a big welfare state. So they sort of try to, and get in public perception that modern Republicans and older generations ago Republicans are against minorities. No, they just see minorities as equals and not needing special treatment. And yeah, there was previous primarily, very much primarily Democrat oppression of minorities that, yeah, organically over time, things will improve. It won't improve overnight because they didn't want race riots or major upsets. They just wanted equal rights, and then over time things would equalize up. But Democrats, once they sort of flipped the coin and pretended to support the other side, mainly for pandering, pushed other things. So that's just sort of modern U.S. history and civil rights. Okay. Hello, Aurora. How you doing? So it's going to be classic. Yes, classic sort of push around. You can. We got stacks of units sort of sitting back out here. They'll get moved up to the front once we get nearer to spring. Is there any good movie? Yeah, the Red Tails. Absolutely. There's definitely black units and that fought, but a lot more blacks operated as logistical support troops behind the lines. No problem, Aurora. Glad you're liking Strategic Command World War I. Those are very, very good games. Okay, Poop Hunter, you have a good day. No longer receive that. So yeah, that's sort of the civil rights. Definitely blacks were not treated as equals during the war, and we get industry prepares for war again because we're back to this. So yeah, I make no, I don't know what, no, I don't claim that the U.S. during this time period was some sort of utopia, but I will say this: compared to most countries on the planet. Now maybe not most countries in the universe, because I don't know what is on other planets. But even with the Jim Crow laws and whatnot, the U.S. was probably one of the least racist countries in the world. Now, Josephine Baker. I don't know if any of you know who she was. She was an entertainer, a dancer, a black American woman. She, in vaudeville or whatever you want to call it, she was, a dancer in America and travels eventually to Europe and has her success primarily in France. And she sees France as being a lot less racist than America. She ends up, she may come back after the war and visit America or something, but I don't even know if she does that. She basically turns her back on America, claiming that America is racist and France is much less racist. And during this time period, the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. Well, you know what? I would dispute that. Now, America, in a lot of, not so much like in New York City, but in a lot of places, and not necessarily just in the South, a lot of hotels would be segregated. And so she, even as a famous entertainer, couldn't stay there. And this was there was a protest by, and eventually quickly got, after a while, once the protest started, like Sammy Davis Jr., you may have heard of him. I know he was a member of the Rat Pack, a black Jewish American. Couldn't stay at the same hotels that he was performing at in Las Vegas for a while. And eventually the other sort of entertainers sort of protested and got that withdrawn because, even though he was very famous and he was headlining what was a hotel that only white people could stay in, or at least black people couldn't stay in it. And this is in Las Vegas, which is generally not a segregated town, but was to some degree. And so there was more institutionalized racism, and it affected both elite blacks and poor blacks the same in America. But the difference, I would say, is Josephine Baker wasn't treated like France treated its black colonial subjects. Okay? Which I would say was very, very racist. And I would also say at the time that she was in France, at least, there were very, very, very few blacks. And she was a noted performer. So when you are not just 1% of the population, but you're not even 0.1% of the population, and mostly you're a curiosity and you are a famous person, you don't feel the racism that European societies have, and I still mean it have today, because you are, again, that sort of curiosity where you see racism in America is more blatant. But because it is, in some states, it is and was back then, actually the majority population, though in much of the South, they were and are a minority, but a very large minority. And so you split half the whites being Republicans and half to being Democrats, and then you have all the blacks being Democrats. Yeah, you get black majority rule, but they're not necessarily a black majority as in the population. In some states, it varies from state to state. And so, yes, there's racism in America, but I would say compared to, and then there's other countries, I don't know, like Finland, who just didn't have these issues because they did not have large minority skin color group populations. But I don't think they're not racist. It's just they don't have the conflict there. So I would argue that America is less racist than, say, France. You can also look at the way French treat the Chinese, where America is wanting, hey, yeah, we want the open door free trade, but otherwise treat the Chinese people as people. No, the French and the British and whoever, no, we're conquering them and they're our subjects. And treated as second-class citizens within their enclaves and other things like that. The Americans weren't for that. So I would say of the significant nations of the world, in the 1930s and 1940s, and I'm not just talking like the Nazis, I'm talking like the British and the French and whatnot. America is one of the least racist countries, but we just have it as institutionalized and people know about it, so they often think it's more racist. Not think it's more racist than it was, but think it's more racist than, say, Britain or France, who, very racist. Okay, not necessarily. Now, in Britain and France, a lot of the people that I would say are racist, back then, aren't necessarily hate racist. They don't like hate black people. They just don't think of them as equals. Where in America and in the South, but also because there's also racial tensions and strikes in Chicago during the war period, because remember, whites are being drafted, blacks are not. There's a need for workers, so there's a lot of black workers from the South moving into Chicago, threatening white jobs. A lot of the racism that you see in America, they may think, not saying do, but may think blacks are not equals, but they also see them as threats, not physical threats, but economic threats, threatening the job. And so there's a lot more racial tension. And, there's definitely the Ku Klux Klan during this time period for sure, which is, a hate group, and I would definitely categorize it as such. But not all of it is really hate, but it's more of a tension. And I'm a Californian, okay, everyone knows. I've been born, raised, lived, except for a brief period of time in Britain, all of my life in California. So we're different out here. We are very different out here than people out here. Because there is still very much in places like Boston and New York, New Jersey, that the neighborhood is Polish, or the neighborhood is Italian, or the neighborhood is Irish. And they do sort of, and they self-segregate amongst themselves. And to this day, and it's not just like the first generation or whatever back in the 1920s and 30s or 1880s or something, but it's still to this day that there's very much these ethnic tensions that I've had explained to me by people that have moved out to California, and just sort of what it's like if you go into the wrong, deli in the wrong neighborhood and you're not Polish. Now, if you go in with Polish friends, oh, well, these guys are all right, we know them. And so America back here, I'm not from here, and so I don't know the cities and how they work in detail. I think I know California. And so if you're comparing, and a lot of this is these ethnic stuff. Some, I've just been mentioning Polish, Italians, and Irish. Now, they're basically all Catholic, so it's not a religious tension, but they're sort of economic tensions in that they're competing for jobs in the American industries, large and small industries going on. And so there's a lot of the conflict that comes because of that. And so it's a lot of ethnic clashes, and it's over, employment as much as anything else. Hello, Mr. Anderson. I know I'm sort of going on a bit of a rant here. That I don't know that, and they don't talk about today because it isn't skin color and whatnot, and it isn't really racism. It's not that Poles hate Italians or vice versa. It's a conflict, and the neighborhoods are still, now it's less and less today than it was in, say, 1930, but it's still that type of thing as far as I know. So again, I'm not from there. I'm a Westerner, and we do have some self-segregated neighborhoods, but nothing like back east. It's not like that. And it's just so different out here, in this part of America is where I'm from. Yeah, so okay, mechanical computing is advanced, which now allows advanced tank optics and gyro sites. But I think it's interesting, and it's important to understand Advanced tank optics, no. Gyros. Oh, that gyro sights is air system or something. We could do air search. Okay, gyro sights. Well, we don't have a free slot yet. So, okay. We will add something more to the queue. But we also get 10% research efficiency. Hello, Victory VT. Yeah, I hope it's interesting. I really think context is important. Because when a modern person goes, George Washington was evil, he had slaves, how can you admire him? I admire him greatly. It's just because, are you going to go, Caesar was evil because Caesar had slaves? Well, everybody of status or stature in ancient Rome had slaves, okay? It's the world that they lived in. It's the way that they understood the world. I'm not going to judge either Caesar or George Washington by today's standards. And it's the world that they knew. They weren't evil because they didn't live the way we lived. They weren't evil in either of those cases because they didn't fight for the women to have rights to vote. Because no woman in Rome had any right to vote when it was a republic, and you may need to be of the right status. And I don't think anybody was trying to get women as a class to vote. I don't know what George Washington would have thought of the idea of women's right to vote. I don't even know that George Washington believed in universal male suffrage. I'm not sure. It's maybe like the idea of a property class or something. And obviously didn't believe the slaves had the right to vote. But they just saw things different back then. And I'm not, so context is important. So if somebody in modern day America is advocating for slavery, well, I'm going to go, they're bad people because that isn't the culture that's normal here. It isn't acceptable. But 100 years ago or 150 years ago, let alone 200 or 300 or 2,000 years ago, I'm not going to argue modern day standards for them. So context is important, and I think that is lost on today's modern revolutionary youth, that how important context is. They just don't really get the idea of its importance. And that's one of the I look at this as historical lessons, not partially lessons about history. This fact on this day, something happened, but it's also just the lessons from history. And so I'm very willing to acknowledge. And, when particular injustices happened, yeah, I feel bad, that America did them. But I'm not going to cry about it. I'm not going to woe is me or woe is America because America wasn't perfect in the past. I'm going to go, yeah, okay, that wasn't the best, but it's sort of it may be the best on the planet at the time, You set up a government to vote. They set up the government to vote, much less average citizens weren't involved in the election. Yes, absolutely, yeah. It varied from state to state whether they voted for the president, I think. Eventually, there's an amendment that says, or it changes some of that. Definitely, senators were many times elected by the state assemblies as opposed to mass elections. And there was often property qualifications to vote, both the local and national elections, for sure. So, they wanted a republic. not a mass democracy, the Founding Fathers. Now, the Founding Fathers were some of the most enlightened people of the day. In the age of the Enlightenment, they were some of the most enlightened people of the day. And although he played the rustic, wearing his fur caps and whatever, and when he was in Paris, but Benjamin Franklin was, noted to be one of the most, fathers of the Enlightenment, shall we say, in France, and enlightened as any of the French thinkers of the time period. And yeah, he played the rustic up a bit, the rustic American, as part of the propaganda process to get support for America when he was in Paris, most assuredly. But he was accepted as a very enlightened thinker in the age of the Enlightenment. Now, Benjamin Franklin was one of the founders of the first, at least that I know of, abolitionist society, getting rid of slavery in America. So he was not one of now he was from a more northern state viewpoint as opposed to southern state viewpoint. So yeah, the Founding Fathers were very enlightened, very forward thinking, and knew things were going to change. But they also knew that people who don't read and write shouldn't vote, because someone can come on and say, vote for me, everyone will get a unicorn. Well, if not a unicorn, at least a pony. In actual fact, I'm just going to tell you unicorn because it sounds good. When they're going to get none of that. You can't get, they're too easily swayed. They know that people, and so they knew it was going to change. But they wanted a republic because they knew the appetites of the people can be swayed a little too easy. Okay, air superiority tactics advance. That is good, but we're going to shut that down and look at other things. But yeah, air superiority efficiency up there. And assault guns, yay. Good, and let's look at that. Okay, that's grayed out currently. We want to get to some of those eventually. What do we need there? Medium armor designs, at least 4. Medium armor designs. Oh, we are at 3, I think, is what this is. I don't know how to read all this between all of these things. Cast armor construction, okay, or something. Okay, I think we need to get welded plate and or that done, and then we can do more of those. Because we're continuing to do the fighter thing, we want to keep our technology up good. Let's do that. Yes, we now have the ability to make tugs. Infantry support tank. No, where are tugs? There we go. Assault guns. The ass guns. We will wait until we get through some of all of this that we've already started on. That, like for occupation duties and whatnot, we will need. So let's see, only 64 positive and 21 positive. So we're not really yet ready to increase our ICs much over this. So yeah, Stugs coming are no, but not anytime soon. I mean, they're barely in production for 1940. So assault, I mean, there were a few, but that was about it. Meaning, I think less than 20 or something, maybe even less than that. Okay, additional supply productions have advanced. Okay, so that is done there. All right, and we're going to come over here and get single engine fighters. Now, by having supplies being easier to produce, means we'll have to, eventually it'll be less ICs needed to produce the supplies that we need. And so all of you out there, if you haven't already, you can follow on Twitch or subscribe on YouTube. Love to have you all around more often, and hopefully notifications go out so you know when I'm live. Wouldn't go as well, Arno. What do you need a broom bar in 1940 for? Just big, slow, and hardly moves around compared to some of the other stuff. The Tiger, yeah, that might be useful for taking on Matilda 2s and, you know, the Char Bs. But beyond that, they're just more big, slow tanks going to use up more fuel. Hey, thanks for following. Do appreciate that. I really do. And so, yeah, both of those vehicles are good for their day and their time, but they weren't needed. Just simply more Panzer IIIs and more Panzer IVs. And sure, long-barreled Panzer IVs would be great, and those would take on the Matildas and the Char Bs just fine. I mean, maybe not perfectly, but good enough. You don't need, having something that is, so much overkill, just for that time period. Now, having them a year earlier than they did historically, yeah, okay. That would be good. Okay, ammo production, which is another type of supply situation here. Okay, so we have that. We can start researching some of that to get... well, we can improve twin-engine fighters right now, so let's do that. So that way they'll do better soft air attack and whatnot. I really wish I could just hit this and go, stay at whatever the need is, stay at whatever the need is, stay at whatever the need is, and not have to constantly do this. And yeah, I do know of the changed controls over, but I don't like that. Doesn't do it well. It does it sort of, but not so well. Soviet Union's buying tungsten from Portugal. That wouldn't have happened. Portugal would not have sold it to the Soviet Union. Japan wants to become our allies. Thanks, Arno. I still don't know why we need to have these here. If you just want to do, just have one that increases supply production. And just make it more steps, shorter, quicker to do. I don't know. Just seems like complication for complication's sake. Yeah, we want to do all of these, but I'm looking for maybe more critical for the moment. Like, yeah, air defense, air attack, that would be useful. No downside. So let's get our fighters a little more up there in large battery capacity. For submarines. Let's take a look over here. Submarines. Okay, oh, that was that one there. Okay, so that will get us greater sea distance, but lesser visibility and whatnot, because that would have helped our getting slaughtered. Okay, submarine fire controls, sea attack, convoy attack, submarine crew berthing. That will probably unlock some of those eventually. A was not really the issue. Sonar detection equipment. Okay, support submarines. That we will do immediately because that will radically increase our range. We could maybe start operating again. So I think it was just our operational zones. And thank you for posting the link there. Okay, good. We're stockpiling back up again here. We're at 520. That's decent. Not the 650 that we could have, or roughly that. but that would eat into that too soon. How are we doing on our... Okay, a lot of steel factories. Some of these will be very efficient. It's like Saarbrücken. Once we get that, that'll be a lot more steel, some more rare extraction out of Vienna, Berlin. Okay, coming. Now with what's going on here, we can look here. I have full occupation. We can look here. Military government is standard, but that's down 70% on ICs and down 70% on local resources. And that's the one that I categorize the most. And I really, you know, let's close this. 6 months draft, 1 year draft. Oh, do I want to reassess this? Consumer goods. Or do I want to conscription laws, extended conscription? We're at extended right now, national manpower. Okay, I think, because I don't know that I ever really want to do massive or emergency. Want to. 6 months, ICs at 7%. Well, money down 15%. Money, okay. We got a lot of stuff draining our money away. I know we have a big, huge amount there, but this is effed up black ice that I got to correct. I don't know. Chat, what do you think about these? Should longer draft period time period hit ICs as hard? Obviously, they're taking manpower away. I don't know. Service by requirement. Manpower up 30%. Hello, No Need. How are you doing today? Thank you, No Need. I do appreciate all of everyone's support who gives likes to videos. You guys don't know how much it helps. It helps with the algorithm. It also helps me to know that people are paying attention when they say, just say hi on videos. Don't need to do it on every one, but just the more people say hi on videos, the more it helps. Okay, 10% down in ICs for service by requirement, because we're right now at 6 month draft, which 7.5% plus ICs. Money hit hard, and they need us to have money again. I'm going to correct that. That wouldn't be a problem. Daily descent 2.5%. Don't know. Should service by requirement give that heavy of descent? Resources 15%. Okay, now that's too much. I don't know, but yeah, victory. Game balance reasons. Are we trying to play a game of chess that's equally balanced? You know, chess between allies and axis? Now, everything should be balanced towards what it was historically. Not, you know, don't give anyone special bonuses just to, you know, give them special bonuses, or make it specially hard just to make it specially hard. Do reasonable evaluations of history. And here, because they've done this, have they improved things? This was sort of what was going on before, to some degree. or was it that, I don't know, but they've broken these out into length of military services versus how extensive the conscription is. Okay, so if you're going to go with more extensive conscription, which means less workers, okay. Now, yeah, if you're only going to draft these guys for 6 months and then they get I'm free of the army, I get to go home. Yeah, that does mean more work, but we've already been hitting the ICs and everything from the conscription laws as opposed to this. And right now, that 15% resources is going to hit too hard. Now, we could just do 3-year draft, which will just hit the ICs by 4%. Money by 22. I don't know why it's more consumer goods during, well, peacetime. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Yes, that does make sense during peacetime, not during wartime. Well, let's go over it because I want to build up the manpower reserve. So we'll do 3-year. We'll try a 3-year draft. Okay, 3-year draft. Okay, IC's down by 4%. Well, this goes too much lower. We can come back in here and go for 10% ICs pushed up. But we'll see how the money situation goes. I have an auto like a plugin running and mostly running on your videos. Oh, very good. Thank you, Aurora. That's really nice of you. Very nice indeed. Okay, 3-year. Well, you're already losing, you know, from here to here. 2-year. It's only 1 more year of drafting than 2-year, and 2 years was 2.5%. That's 7.5 positive. So at 6 months, so we've shifted from a positive 7.5% to a negative 4%. So I don't think it shouldn't be any more than that. Yeah, No Need is interesting. I also follow him as Roberto on. If you want to post your link to your Twitter channel or your Twitter account, you do post some very interesting stuff there. No, Arno is actually real Dutch from the Netherlands. Well, yeah, a forever war. Eventually, it would be. Great, No Need. You guys, if you follow things on Twitter, Twitter is can be a cesspool. I can understand why people not want to be involved there. But if you do have a Twitter account, you can follow his, and it's not always in English, but you just do the hit translate button to find out his stuff. And it's I like to get more non-Western voices and understand. Yes, but that does sound like an Afrikaans name, which of course are Dutch settlers in South Africa. And so from his perspective, the closest Arno Boers would be the Boers of South Africa. Yes. Okay, 3 years, so we're going to be hit for that. Okay, so we've lost a lot of ICs. We're going to adjust that. Okay, military police advance. Let's deal with this. I think that is this one. Good. Okay. Resistance support. No, this would be useful. Yeah, I think I know we're doing some other stuff. Home front coordination. Oh, that could be useful. Supply transfer, supply throughput. I don't know where that goes down. I don't know. Yeah, let's do that. We're going to get more and more occupation stuff going on. And specialist army training, extended conscription, national unity, plus a little bit reinforcement. Okay. So now that we're down at this, let's let the month go. Well, we can click here. I am a huge advocate for Western values, Western culture. We're having a lot of autosave time here. Okay, we're going to just let it sit and let it go through this, and we'll probably be restarting after the game here after this. Big advocate for Western culture, Western values, but I like to hear other cultures' viewpoints, whether it be African or Indian or Chinese or Japanese or whatever. Okay, that got through the save finally. Okay, so Japan. I don't know whether this is just lacking an image. Or because of that save problem, it didn't display. Okay, what we're going to do here is, I know it made it through that. Well, it made it through the autosave. So we're going to end this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. Thanks for liking the videos. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. I know I say it a lot, but it's really helpful if you guys do. See you next time for even more Hearts of Iron. Okay, well, I'm up for one more episode, at least, here, yeah. But what I'm going to do here is, now that we had that really slow save, I think I'm going to make one more save, just to be, even if it crashes the game, just sort of, let's just try this once more, because I just don't trust autosaves very much. And then, once this gets through this, it's taking a long time, I'm going to not restart my computer, but restart Hearts of Iron 3 and see if that works well. Yeah, well, I mean, Arno's already out there, and I agree. And my friend Ari, who lives up a holler in Appalachia, really doesn't care, but I don't think he understands how easy it is to, identity theft and what that might mean. And it is cancel culture. Yeah, I'm definitely worried about cancel culture. Okay, so you're going to have a black screen here. Don't worry about it. I'm still here. Okay. Yes, we want to quit. And so, yeah, we're going to be restarting, hopefully without restarting the computer here. Because I'm trying to be I'm not trying to be famous. Being a strategy, I hit the wrong click. Being a strategy war gamer, you're never going to be like famous. PewDiePie is even just internet famous. My dad may have heard of him only because I've talked about him. Lots of people don't know who he is. He's not like real famous. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm trying to be notable within, historical strategy gaming space. Absolutely. But, really famous, no. But yeah, I'm trying to be notable. So cancel culture is a problem. And because I'm on YouTube, cancel culture can be a problem. And I talk about controversial stuff, and I'm not a left winger. But it's also like identity theft, kinds of things that I do worry about. It's not just, we should be back to seeing things already. Okay. I think both of these work, so we'll do this. You're working on Imperator Rome to an entirely different project. Well, if they have, that would surprise me. Haven't they moved like the EU team to Spain? Or maybe it's the Imperator Rome to Spain or something. They've set up a new studio or whatever to Spain, and I think it's just a few people. Imperator Rome, I would say, is a failure for them. I quit. I don't know. I have a bunch of unreleased episodes of Imperator Rome, but it's been hurting my channel, so I sort of stopped releasing them. I enjoyed the last game, with the last update. It could be a lot better, though. They got lazy with Imperator Rome. They hyped it up because all companies hype up their games. I mean, every company hypes up their game. It's nothing paradox special. But, so almost sort of an afterthought game is Fields of Glory Empires. Fields of Glory 2 is a really good taking tabletop miniatures from, the classical world, Greece, Rome, whatnot, and putting, for tabletop miniatures, putting them in the computer. Really good battle setup. Really good rules. Really nice to play. I'll be playing some Field of Glory Medieval Tuesday for Slytherin. Really like the game, but it's something of an afterthought. I think they put together a sort of classical world strategy game. They do 1 year turns, which I think are really stupid and long, but they have for the amount, and it's got to be 15%, 20% at most development time, man hours going in it, if even that Imperator Rome had originally. And in many ways, there's more depth to it. Now, there's things that are kooky and whatnot, and I don't like about it. And if you took the best of that and put it in with Imperator Rome, it would be great. I mean, truly a great game, I think. And of course, you have Rome, and I know they're doing a redone original Rome now. Blanking on the company. They just really got lazy with Imperator Rome, and that's Johann's fault. I've never met him. I've had a few, online interactions with him and seen him, at some of their, events that he's gotten up and spoke, and he seems like a nice guy and all. And he's the main person responsible, I think, for Hearts of Iron 3. Podcat came only on in the second half of development of, after it was Hearts of Iron 3 was released. Responsible, I think, a lot for their finest hour and whatnot. But I don't know. I just don't know if Johann got lazy or if there was just other things up in Johann's life. Or it just, the world's moved on, because, some people, and I could be accused of some of the stuff, they shined really great, in the 2000s, but game development, technologies, expectations, whatever you want to try to say, they sort of passed them by the, the 2010s. And I don't know, they just got super lazy with Imperator Rome, that even to this day, I look at it and see, that's a great skeleton. Where's the flesh on the skeleton? If they just gave us good flesh, that would be a great game. And it's gotten a lot better. I mean, they're just starting to get the flesh out, in my opinion. And so, I don't know. They'll say they move back members, but not expecting any new Imperator Rome content in 2021 pretty much means they killed it, because it's very, very unlikely they'll move members back. Hello, Lum. You're probably right, Victory. I I guess the last DLC, again, the last DLC was their best thing that they've done. I guess it failed. With that, I really have not been following it closely. But now I do know the way they work is normally after a game is released, like Hearts of Iron 4, which is still selling very well, though you notice they're finally coming around to my way of thinking with railroads. Now, that all happened, I guess, after I left the beta testing thing. I couldn't talk about it if I knew it, but that wasn't anything I knew. But they didn't. You trust me, I advocated for railroads. But I'm not trying to take credit for it because I think it I don't know. Obviously they knew I was pushing for railroads. That wasn't a question mark in anybody's mind. But whether it's I don't think it's because of what I'm saying for it. I think it's as much or more just they finally agreed with what I was sort of saying anyways, not because I was saying it, but just because they see. But yeah, Hearts of Iron 4 has been a economic success for them, and so their normal way of doing things is keeping a small core team on it developing, and then most of the people assets go away outside of the small core, and like they have 2D artists in Paradox, and they budget so much time and get some 2D artists to say work on Hearts of Iron 3. And so from interactions recently, within the last year, I mean, it's not recent, but within the last year, I knew that they didn't have any 2D artists currently at one point working on Hearts of Iron 4. It was, they weren't, and so it was like basically, well, when I get a 2D artist, I'll have them maybe work on that. And I don't want to go into what that was, because I don't know if it's going to happen or not. But yeah, so it's sort of like they have 2D artists, 3D artists, musical composers, event. People sort of do what I do for TRE. Who make event content or decision content, all this kind of stuff to do the research and, create historical personalities or whatnot. They have all these people. Normally they keep a small core on a game to continue to develop it over time. And then bring in other assets as they sort of need them briefly, and then they go back to other projects. They may be just needing to push something big. Maybe. I'm not saying that they won't, or that is for sure, because I don't have any real inside information, as you can tell, of what's going on right now. But I do know that they will pull in a lot of people in for a big project, and they may be having something big that they need to do. Look at the Paradox Con or whatever's coming up. If they announce something, maybe that would tell us what it is. And then they might come back to Imperator Rome. But yeah, I think it's been an economic failure for them. Well, they should start pre-production Hoi 4 already. They can. There's only somebody. Oh, they're not. I'm pretty sure they're not anywhere near thinking Hoi 5. They're doing too well on Hoi 4. And I don't right now know who in the studio, because they haven't hired me. Not that they would. Then I'm not moving to Sweden. I'd come and visit it if they wanted to pay my airfare periodically, but I'm not moving to Sweden. I don't know who would lead up Hoi 5 other than Podcat. And he's definitely, at least from all indications that I'm getting, still working on Hoi 4. So I don't think there's any move to work on pre-production of Hoi 5. Ragar, I don't see it. And I could be entirely wrong. Could be entirely blind. Not saying I know for sure. I just don't see it. Okay, well, let's start making another episode. Welcome back, fellow armchair generals. This is Gamer 1745 here with my continuing playthrough of, yes, Hearts of Iron 3 with Black Ice 10.41, and we're going to quickly see an air battle here. 2 French heavy bombers coming over with 7 fighters coming up to shoot them out of the sky. Oh, let's speed this up a little bit more. Oh, that already went off. Oh, a lot more fighters, and they're just about... So that's what I want. I want to kill these units. I want these units to come over and then get slaughtered. Where did it go? Did it get slaughtered totally? Gotta fly back home. Oh, maybe it did. I don't know. Okay. Advanced education investment. Advanced? Sort of redundant, but yeah. Okay. So we'll get more leadership from that. Logistical warfare. We need, oh, supply transportation. Okay, we're doing those there. That's why we're doing those there. For some of the reasons, at least. Okay, we're trying to improve our fighters in position 4, engine in position twin engine planes. Nice stuff, but I'm looking to see what's small. Okay, heavy fighter air detection, medium air search radar. Okay, this will get our night fighters going a little better, and that'll get our all of our fighters air attack a little bit better. So we'll do this first, I think, and then integrated armored fighting vehicle support battalions. It's integrating them into here. So we'll see all of these, well, some specialty units, but motorized speed will go down a little bit, but they'll get some toughness and heart attack. And which leaves us a little more, so we can go there to get our fighters a little better air attack. So that will be useful. Okay, we can deploy some more fighters. Okay. I think there's... No, never mind. Okay, JG2 Richtofen. Let's see if we can get it to the right group. Okay, so it would be that group there, I guess, or this group here. Let's go with this group here. Hello. I guess. How you doing today? Okay, what we're going to see about doing now that we're into the 2nd of February, we have 100, okay, so we're going to come here and we're going to go back to heavy industry here. We're still at a little bit of positive there, 15%, but consumer goods during wartime should go there. Okay, heavy industry focus. Let's see how this goes after the day goes by. Oh, our forces are under attack. Okay, they've decided to come here. Is it? No, that's their bombing. Okay. Where are they attacking me? Where are they attacking me? Oh no, it is also, okay, here. Okay, so they're coming here at me. Come at me, bro. Fight me, bro. So there's the Führer headquarters. Let's leave that right where that is, but let's give him a sucky sort of commander that I don't care about. Okay, we'll give him this Austrian dude. I can tell by the uniform. And let's see. Führer Begleit. Let's see, it should be under the Führer, shouldn't it? Where is the Führer? Where is the Führer? Probably not back up here somewhere. Here's Group B. There he is. The Führer gets another Führer Begleit. Hello, IP. Well, I'm from California, and hey, I'm being a YouTuber. It's not much of a living, but it's the living I've got right now. Okay. Oh, I needed to make a video on something. Okay, well, I'll make a short video here. And maybe talk about it too. Okay. That's where they're coming in at. Let's rush that down to there. Let's rush one of these down to here. Let's see how this goes as they attack us. Looks like they might get through. I don't know if we want to wait for that to show up, so we'll move these guys here. I had been wondering with these huge formations sitting across the way whether I should reinforce this a bit more. Guess we can move the headquarters unit there. It wouldn't hurt too bad. Okay, we had one shatter. Okay, well. The French are pushing, sort of doing a SARS offensive, which was here. See, really what this should be, in my opinion at least, this side of the river here should be part of the Saarland here. Should be the province, whether these two would be joined up or just add one more province. And there shouldn't be any defenses here. It should be here and here that has the defense line, but maybe the AI just isn't going to handle that well enough. Let's look at technology. Smaller, so yeah, we'll do that. Is that good? Oh, it's really pushing us more technology. What are we? Okay, all the way to 63.16. Oh, you're from Croatia? Very nice. I understand that's a very nice place. Especially the coastal regions. Yeah, some detection, sonar technologies. We can do that. Oh yeah, more. And we'll do sonar detection. There we go. And I do like to know where people are from. Gives me an idea of who I'm talking to. And they're really pumping it in. Come on guys, you gotta get there quick, because we don't want to have to fight them back out. Okay, good. Good, now we have a few divisions here. We're gonna lose ground, and yeah, you can retreat out. What is deployable? Okay. Yes, the Adriatic coast. Quite possibly the most beautiful coast in the world. Though I'd have to say Big Sur might surpass it. Big Sur surpass, yeah. Okay, submarine hulls advanced. Very good. Grayed out. What is it? Submarine torpedo tubes. There's research of that. Submarine torpedo tubes, which... where? Oh, here, but we don't want to do those just yet. I think I have more important, sooner things to do. Yeah, let's do Huff Duff. Get that going. Do want to visit it someday, though. Last time I was in the neighborhood, you guys were shooting at each other. Well, you and the Serbs were shooting at each other. I was right over here when you guys were shooting at each other for a while there. So I didn't visit. What are we still researching here? Oh, artillery brigades. So let's stop researching artillery brigades then. Okay, we don't want to push too hard on that right now. Dual purpose AA guns. Let's do that. What is our level of fortification? Okay. Fortress level 3. They're losing their organization pretty fast. Oh, create 8th Panzer Division. Let's do that. Get that done. Hopefully it won't be one of the units that's in combat right now. Yeah, it looks like we weathered this storm well enough. Major victory. Battle of Karlsruhe. Karlsruhe? I don't know. Karlsruhe? However you Germans say it. We suffered 10,000 casualties. Wow, that's a lot. Now they suffered 16,000 casualties. Yeah, okay, we won. We had one unit shatter, which is probably back here now. Now, what we have, let's get some of these armored divisions up front, up to the front. And even this one that is basically, if you touch it, it falls apart. Get that up to there. Oh, well, oh, he may have been part of this here. Was he part of this? HQ setup. Where did he go? Maybe up in here. There he is. Okay. Bring him at least to the area again. Yes, they will switch sides Vienna event if you bring in Yugoslavia. So if you want to go down the historical path, you can. I normally just invade them. Knowing history that I do, I just invade and take it. Fighter ground control, advanced air defense network, artillery. Okay. So now we have fighter ground control has advanced. And then it's in artillery. Air defense network. Okay, 1939. So could have maybe got a little earlier. Reducing manpower by 5%, supplies by 5%. Yeah, that all seems good. And we're going to get more efficiency and more radar impact and whatnot out of there. Yep, we'll go for this. Sounds like a plan. So their little SAR offensive fell apart. Okay, well, good. Looks like they may be shifting to come after one of these other places here. We need to scare them a bit. We need to scare them. So what we're going to do is we're going to move a few more of these units up here just so that they, oh no, we're not going to move the Fuhrer Light Brigade. I'm not going to put one of the Fuhrer's units on the front line. We just want to make the stack look a little nastier. See, this is why we need 8 brigades. Well, that might be good enough. No. Okay, well. Different Fuhrer Light Brigade, hold the pause. Okay, let's find a junkie commander. It's this guy. I guess him. We'll put him under the Fuhrer. Eventually we'll run out of slots, and so we'll need to create some core HQ under them and whatnot. Where is he? Where is he? Maybe did I pass him way up here? No. Let's see if you're but because we already got 5 units under him. Maybe we have. Oh, there's Hitler. There we go. There we go. Hitler's little mini army of HQs. Okay, submarine engines have advanced. Allows research of the snorkel. Submarine snorkel. Well, we don't want to do that just yet, and don't know if there's an event for once we get the Netherlands, whether we get it just for funsies, because hey, the Dutch had a nice one, I gather. We'll do that. Yeah, there's a lot of good stuff with the way they do these things. I do agree. Or no? Okay. America. It's interesting that Hitler's private armored train was titled America. I don't really know the reason behind that. There may have been one, but let's add it to here. Oh, it's a core HQ, so we can't add it to here. Oh, that's, oh god, I wish these weren't HQs. Well, what we need to do maybe here is put them under Hitler, and then put, let's see, let's get a know nothing who is a supply good. One shell, no, not a level 2. Let's give him this guy. Okay, and then what we're going to do here is there we go. We're going to attach him to American. And we're going to detach and attach him to America. Really should have the trains not be HQs themselves, but maybe have an HQ unit with the train so that the train, I don't know. Trains, though, don't move well at all. You really need to strategically redeploy them. Okay, well, those are up in Berlin, so is it closer than, no, there it is. Okay, so now we have some cores there. Okay, how are we doing? 12 positive, 41 positive. We have 514. Okay. They're sure moving units around here. Okay, close air support prototypes. Very nice. Grayed out. Orange and transport plane. We'll do that eventually. But yeah, let's do fighter bomber prototype. And mass events have advanced, giving us more manpower, costing us a little bit of ICs. But that does sort of balance out with some of the other ones. Okay, now let's look at production here. Got all those, sort of waiting for some of those to be matched with some of these, I think. So yeah, the twin engine. $135 JG 135. Is it in here? There we go. Yep, there we go. I'm going to leave the rest of the fighters off. Again, I really like the way this works. It's the way I use it. We can get all the fighters. Look at all the fighters. Let's find ones that have no order, see where they are at, and see about putting them up over there. Yeah, back off just a little bit more. There we go. Try not to be over France. Okay, we're just going to stop you briefly. Yeah, we'll let you get a little more healed up. Strasbourg, yeah. You're in Stuttgart. Well, let's come over here. No, we want to do air intercept, but we want to cover this sort of southern area without going over France too much, just in case you decide to come around here and bomb us. We got some fighters up. Okay, you're just a single fighter, but if you get up there with some other ones, you'll be useful. And okay, they're going to repair their strength there, but not okay. That's good. Right. We put a leader in here. Would have been a little better had we had one. Not hugely better, but we can do that. And since they're not being attacked, they can come back into there. Hello, Neutron was taken. How you doing? Well, don't know why you say that. I mean, if your big thing is 3D maps and big 3D men on the map, then yeah, I think it looks great. If you're just presumably talking about the looks, I think it looks great. But then again, I'm old and I'm used to these type of things on map boards. We can get it on Steam. It's very cheap, and the DLCs are very cheap. So, and with Black Ice, it's very good. I think it's better than Hearts of Iron 4. I think it's the best grand strategy game of World War II out there. Broadcasting events. And that's just my opinion. But I do think it's the best. Now, it's not for everybody. If you really like Hearts of Iron 4, and you probably won't like Hearts of Iron 3. But, what else are we doing? Okay, oh, plate thickness. There we go. Play a lot of 4? Okay, well, if you really like 4, see, Hearts of Iron 3, especially if you're playing with Black Ice, and I like Hearts of Iron 4 a little better than I like Hearts of Iron 3, just Hearts of Iron 3, but Hearts of Iron 3 Black Ice, this mod that I'm playing, and with some of the other mods, I think is much better. It's much more historical. So if you like to play a historically based game, I really think this is much better. If you like to play, oh, hey, let's have, fascist Britain or something like that, this isn't for you. Okay, we're going to do, let's do snipers. Well, if you really like doing that kind of stuff, you're not able to do that here. This is a history base. This is a I describe Hearts of Iron 4 as EU 20th century. This ain't that. This if you're wanting an EU Crusader Kings type game, but in the 20th century, yeah, Hearts of Iron 4 is for you. If you're wanting a game that's World War II, I mean, you have you can do things that are unhistorical, but within the sort of historically plausible realm, because Stalin isn't going to go fascist. I mean, Russia's just not going to go fascist. Yeah, this is a much better game. So if you want to do that kind of stuff, which is cool to do, but this ain't the game for you. But I do play a bunch of Hearts of Iron 4. Just haven't been recently because I've been doing 3 a lot. But so yeah, I play a bunch of that too. Just got to sort of pick the game that you're looking at, wanting to play. Okay, now we're finally down the negative elements for money again, but just a little bit. Division HQs. Okay. Reduce time between attacks, and I think that is here. So we're going to stop that. We're going to come over to Naval HQs. Yeah, I've not played 1 or 2. Yes, they exist. Like I say, I've not played them, so I can't recommend or not recommend them. I am a big fan of with the mods this. It sort of needs to be all the mods. Okay, you can back up into the front line here. Okay, Rhaegar. Yeah, I haven't played it. I own some of those in my Steam library just because they were cheap and I bought them. But I really can't give you an opinion because I don't want to give an opinion on something I, just sort of guess and looks at and looks like and think it is or something like that. I really want to play it before I start giving opinions. Okay, we're going to put all of our landing craft here, and there's a lot more micromanagement needed on Hearts of Iron 3 than 4. So if you want to get more into the details, then this is good. But if not, don't go with this. Then you gotta want to have fun with details. You can do less micromanaging than I do, but you've got to like to do micromanaging. But like I say, it's cheap if you're interested in trying it, but it's just whether it's the type of thing you want or not, I don't know. Okay, Desert Warfare, Desert Unit Training, Operational Doctrine. Oh, here. Desert Unit Training. Okay, yes, we'll do this. Start the research on that. Let's see, okay, air battle. Okay, single group of French fighters being jumped by 3 squadrons or groups or whatever. There, and what's going on there? These battles don't last very long, but they keep happening. Just gotta keep clicking. There's gotta be, nope, I guess there's no fighters there. There's fighters here, okay. Now it's 4 French fighters versus 6 German fighters. Oh, and we got this. Let's pause this and watch. Okay, they go by, they flash by, so we could slow it down and watch. But okay, decryption machine advance. We'll stop that. Obviously, it's getting too far forward. Aviation search radar. Here, okay. Yeah, we'll move this down to navigational radar, which is a slightly different thing. And okay, all those are sort of the ones I want to be doing. Got a lot of these here that I will get to. Airborne unit training. We need better airborne unit training, particularly. Okay, squadron of 3 submarines. Well, let's just for the moment stick them back here in Hamburg. Create a group of 3 here. Let's get one of the historical submarine commanders down here. And where's Fjord U-boat? Okay. All of our U-boats here. Okay, good. I'll just continue. The map's much better, at least for most of the places you'll be playing in Hearts of Iron 3 than it is in 4. In the provinces and the way it's organized. Monumental architecture. There we go. That's good. Well, let's get bridging equipment working. Probably won't be enough time to get it across for the invasion of France, but still. Okay, group Kleist decision title, right? Let's create Panzer Group Kleist, which will, okay, sure. There we go. Let's move him east here, or west, I mean. God, which direction compass is. I think. Okay, pause. Suited by that German social. Continue it. Yes, we want the oil and the raw materials. Yes, we want this. Improves relations with them. Air Force asks for more money. This is BS, but okay, let's see the plans for broadcasting. Yes, and yes, launch. Another raider. How's our one raider here doing? Okay, he's doing well, so he's going to come up to here because we want to avoid. And our other raider here died. Oh no, he just hasn't found anything in a while. Okay, I'm over to here. Envoy rating passive. Passive just means if it starts taking damage, go home. It's not that it's not going to try to go after convoys. It's just going to go, oh hey, we're a bit damaged. Let's go home and get repaired. This been an area maybe should have been more over here, but we'll move them out here away from that. Another vessel. Okay, Frederick Fritz, DISQ agent Mancur. We have an opportunity to plant one of our agents in the United States for the purpose of gathering intelligence historically. Even before the war, a large Nazi spy ring was found operating in the United States. The Discunis, I don't know. The spy ring, I'm sure I've heard it pronounced, but I don't remember. It was eventually comprised of 33 German agents who all placed in key jobs in the United States to get information that could be used in the event of war and to carry out acts of sabotage. One man opened a restaurant, used his position to get information from his customers. Another worked at an airline so he could report Allied ships crossing the Atlantic. Still others in the ring worked as deliverymen so they could deliver secret messages alongside normal messages. The ring was led by Captain Fritz, yes, I'm not going to try to pronounce, an African Boer who spied for Germany in both world wars and is best known as the man who killed Kitchener after he was awarded the Iron Cross for his role in the sabotage on the HMS Hampshire in 1936. Excellent. We will try this. It probably not go well, but yay. Okay, another Totenkopf Standarten. Fine. Assault guns. Deploy assault guns to our armor brigade. Yay. Good. Mexico is buying aluminum. Right, magnesium. Don't know why the hell they're doing that, but yeah, weirdness. Yeah, they're buying weird stuff. I don't know. Okay, we'll pause. Welded plate armor construction is advanced. Very good. Now I think, doesn't that mean we can do... Oh, I don't know. I can't figure all these things out. Okay, I think we need advanced armor designs or something, I guess. I don't... Another BS thing that shouldn't be there. Forward to victory, new battle commander. Okay, let's see. We got Gunther von Klug. Okay, we have a Gunther von Klug around here, but we'll see where we want to move the battle commander, but just get him up to the front. Okay, the Penguin. Yes, fine launcher. That. Let's give him a leader. Yeah, Marine Commando West. Okay, let's see. Now. Hey, Eric. Going well. Okay, we can do new radio shows. Do we want more money and less consumer goods? Do we want news and politics, national unity, ruling party support? That's what we want to do. Okay, so that's what we want to do. So let's go with news and politics. Serious lack. Hey, I got the Tirpitz and the why am I blind? Bismarck. I didn't even get there. I know these names. So yeah, we got that. Mud springs deepens, melting snow. Okay, okay, good, remove, give. Now we have an elite division with extra motorcycles that are in black. Okay, encryption machines, that will help our operations against the convoys when we resume our operations against the convoys. Submarines, I'm just looking to see a crew berthing, let's do that. Oh, they're pushing on us again over here this time. They're even trying to bomb us. The artillery group, which really should be attached to something else. Okay, can it retreat? I hope so. It's going to move very slowly, but it'll at least get out of the combat. It'll be these guys that are in the combat now. Okay. This one will move up into the action with his heavy artillery and cavalry regiment. Oh, they're pushing multiple places along the line. Oh boy, this is really sort of happening now, ain't it? Okay, you come to there. Don't I have a motorized? Guess I don't. You come to there. You guys are being hit hard now too. You should also not stay in the front line. Okay, they're getting serious about attacking. Let's... Okay. You come down to here. You can come into there. Hello, Adrian. Okay, Adrian, I think it's great. Not perfect, has its problems, but it's great. I would get Hearts of Iron 3 with all of the major mods, which are Their Finest Hour, For the Motherland, and what's the other one? The other major one. So there's a bunch of other little like content DLCs that are useless. Oh well, the three major DLCs, which you can buy as a pack on Steam, and then get the Black Ice mod, which is what I'm using, Adrian, and I recommend that very highly for the best grand strategy game of World War II. That's my assessment. Okay, new monumental buildings for the nation. Let's see the plans. And are we pushing here? No, what's, assault weapons, infantry 2, and that's engineering assault weapons. God, I forget which. Okay. What big building do we want to add to our nation right now? Up. Okay. We have imperial seat of government. We have advanced education. Because something went wrong and we only have 24% support right now. We have sort of the money. I think we're going to do Palace of the Party to get more ruling support. Well, Imperial Foreign Ministry is 5%. Well, it was intuitive for me because I have a history of playing similar sorts of games, but not necessarily for everyone. I don't want to oversell it. It's going to take time to learn. And hey, if you want, you can watch. I got lots of videos on playing it. I got big series that go into all the details. So if you like watching YouTube videos of people playing the game, it'll get you what you need to know. Whether you find that interesting or not, I don't know. But so you can follow my channel. Yeah, I think we're going to do, I normally don't do Party of the Palace because I normally go for either War Ministry by now with increased organization or feared national police building. Sure, you can also look at my videos for Imperator Rome. Yeah, if you can handle Imperator Rome, you should be able to handle this. You know, it's different, but you should be able to handle it. Any game that's really good and worth playing will take a few times to get used to it. Okay, Party of the Palace, Party, whatever, because they name them differently between there here. Okay, Palace of the Party, we're going to go for that. Build this, which is going to cost us a bunch of money. 5,000 metal, do we have it? Yeah, barely. God, my metal's been terrible. Okay, more technology capabilities. And sure, of course, my time is what I'm spending here and love interacting with you guys. Yeah, this time we hardly had any casualties, and they had 7,000 in that battle. Now here we are, unfortunately, not doing as well. You guys can rush down to there, maybe. Okay, ruling party support just jumped up. Airbase blueprints have advanced. Very nice. Is that one over here? I don't think what it would be. Stop that for the moment. And we're going to come over here and research this. Hey, IKB. Thank you for the info on the track width. I was just wondering. I was watching a video on YouTube of this guy going from Germany, and I haven't finished the series yet, but he's heading out to Kazakhstan, and they although the train starts in Paris, he picks it up in Germany, a night train. And they actually, and this few times a week these trains run, they actually pull the bogies off of the train in a warehouse. They lift the train up and put on, Russian gauge bogies, and then the train goes on. I thought it was interesting. I was just wondering about some of the current states of trains. He's going to move really slow, I know. No, not Papa Hoth. Let's use some of our armored divisions to stem some of these attacks. Just because they can get there fast. Okay, veteran opportunity. We need more veteran divisions. Okay, we'll do that. The French have gotten impatient. Wow, look at all those units hitting us. Including some British units that have been loaned to the French. No, come down this way because I don't want you getting involved in that shooting before you get to here. No, come down to here. Come down this way. What do we have up in Berlin that's recently appeared? Okay. Not too much. Here, all right. Okay, you withdraw. You're here now, good. Mountain Division HQs have advanced, very nice. We'll stop that for now. Yeah, I think we'll start doing that. Okay, let's give this a save. And I think we're going to end this here. Want to thank all you guys so much for hanging out. Sorry, Joseph, I guess you just got here, but yeah, been at it for a few hours. So I think I'm going to call it a day. Tomorrow, I'm not sure what I'm going to be streaming or doing. Possibly with Exergen on Gary Grigsby's War in the East. We need to make some more episodes, and he was saying he was maybe available on Sunday. So possibly with him. If he's not available, then I know I want to get together and do some other things for Sunday, but just, this week has not been good for me. Not been good at all. But bad week, yes. But if he's not available, then probably just War Thunder again tomorrow. But maybe we'll be doing Gary Grigsby, if not War Thunder. So, no, Arno, I got to take a break. My foot, I got to take a break right now. I'm sorry. I just can't keep sitting here any longer. So, I'm not sure. It's just if Gary Grigsby is, or if Exergen is free, then we'll be doing Gary Grigsby's War in the East too. Continue with that. That's important for the channel. It's really important for the channel, and in fact, I need him to help me with the stuff. So I know War Thunder's fun, but I just got to do that. So yeah. But I do thank you for your support. So yeah, that's what's going to be happening probably tomorrow. Tuesday and Wednesday I'll be streaming for Slytherin. Tuesday is Field of Glory 2 Medieval. Wednesday is Armored Brigade. So if you want to check out that, and I may be playing the Dutch stuff on for Armored Brigade. So we'll see. Thanks everyone. Thank you guys. Really do appreciate it.